Hello, traders. So it's Wednesday, new comic book day. I pick up my books Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I've got two shops that I go to. So I'm making another video on what I picked up this week, my thoughts on the books, what I'm looking forward to, um, and we'll just get right into it. So, started out with Marvel Zombies Resurrection. This is issue number 3. Like most of the miniseries that come out, I always pre-buy them, and once the final issue's released, I'll get into it. I chose the Wolverine cover for this one, just because I'm a Wolverine fan. I kind of like the aesthetic of the cover. I'm feeling kind of Halloweeny, so um, picked that one. Really happy with that one. Next, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 50. So this is issue number 50, back to conventional numbering, legacy issue 851. This is the 1 in 25 variant. I've actually picked up a few of these, got some for the shop as well. Uh, this one is actually trending really hot. I chose this cover for my personal collection because I'm a huge Green Goblin fan, and that's going to look great against some of my classic silver and early Bronze Age books. Um, I also did grab this one. This is the 1 in 50 variant. I chose this one, had to have it for the personal collection. Huge Doctor Strange fan, so I really love that one. I love the coloring on this with the purples and the way they really stand out. I think he did a fantastic job on the cover. Next, I've got Avengers number 37. Typically, I would not have grabbed Avengers. It's not a title that I'm on, but I am trying to get all these horror variants. I really like that one. You got She-Hulk as some kind of a kaiju. Um, Scarlet Witch on the cover. Really love it. And it's funny, I used to read Avengers as a kid, and it's not one that carried over into my adult collecting. Um, I kind of think, honestly, it's because I get enough Avengers at the movie theaters. And um, so I like to read individual stories and independent books. Also, as we all know, I like to pick up these. Um, the True Believers books, and the reason I keep these around is I'm building a library, a reading library, for not just my grandkids, but anybody that's interested in a character and wants to learn more can borrow a book, um, and have a chance to read without having to damage a major key, obviously. So, Amazing Spider-Man, Black Widow. I believe both of these. This is also Black Widow centric. These were planned to coincide with the release of the Black Widow movie, of course, which I believe has been pushed off again. But the last couple of weeks, we've been getting Black Widow True Believers. So for $1, it's kind of a no-brainer. Pick them up, and you can dive into some classic stories that typically would cost quite a bit to get them in the original form. So, and then one that I was excited about, super excited about. I'm a huge war gamer from back in the day. Used to be an outrider for Games Workshop. Um, so when this title came out, I had to snag it. Warhammer 40K. This is the Marinus Calgar. It's the story of the creation of the Ultramarine chapter in the Warhammer 40K universe. If you're not familiar with Warhammer 40K, it's a dystopian future in the year 40,000, where we've got humans fighting orcs and chaos demons, and really a science fantasy future thing. And the Ultramarines are supposed to represent the best in humanity. They are genetically altered superhuman warriors. Love this cover. It has Calgar front and center, and the story's about him. So really excited about that. And I was able to actually snag a couple of the black and white copies. So really dig those. Really excited to get into this story. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to wait until we get a few issues out like I typically do. I'm so jazzed about Warhammer 40K that I might just dive right into it. And it's a great book, beautiful artwork. A lot of this artwork comes from Warhammer. I know that this is the cover from the Ultramarines chapter book. So it comes from Games Workshop directly. So some great tried and true artwork there, and just fantastic storytelling. So, and we're hoping that translates to the comic book, of course. Moving on to some indie books, we all knew that I had to grab Dynamite #1. I chose this cover because for the personal collection, for one, it's Peach Momoko, and for me, her work is very hit and miss, and this one she hit. I'm a huge Red Sonja fan. I've got the Red Sonja books, so this is going in the personal collection along with the rest of my Red Sonjas. She also did a Vampirella cover. I'm probably going to go back and pick up a couple more of the Momokos. I'll have those available on the website. They're not too expensive. Their cover price, which I believe is $3.99, but they are going to be, I think, highly sought after. With the news, of course, that Peach Momoko is going exclusively with Marvel, at least for the foreseeable future. So, Dynamite #1. And then this is my guilty pleasure book, Vampire the Masquerade. We're up to issue 3 on this run. There are a few different covers for this one. I think I'm going to probably crack into these this weekend and read me some Vampire. Some beautiful covers, and then, of course, the foil cover. The foil cover is the A cover, of course, in the foil variant. It's got a higher cover price. This one was $9.99. The others are $3.99. Price does not reflect that. I just had to have the foil cover for the personal collection. I grabbed one from the comic shop that actually had a little bit of spine damage that I'll press out and leave more of the mint copies to somebody that wants to invest. These are never leave my personal collection. So Vampire the Masquerade, and of course Red Mother #9 came out this week. Red Mother is a fantastic horror mystery book. Been on it. I jumped in at issue #6. Got a good deal on all the previous issues. My buddy Greg at Black Hat recommended the book for me, so I snagged it. Been really happy with the writing. It's got a great story, beautiful artwork. If you're not on Red Mother, you might want to look into it. It's another one of those good, solid reads for cover price. So that to me is the hallmark of a great comic. Moving on to DC, of course, this week we have Dark Knight's Death Metal. Got a couple copies of the chromatic cover. That's cover A. And then the variants, we've got kind of a Superman-ish character. I still haven't read it, of course, because I'm waiting for them all to come out and all the tie-ins, so I'll just read them all at once. I might not wait for all the tie-ins since they're publishing them after the fact at this point. So, of course, Superman cover, I really like that one. Big fan of Superman. Got a couple of the Green Lantern covers. And I was lucky enough that I got a hold of 3 of the Flash covers. The speed metal. So that is the 1 in 25. Average price on that right now is right at the $25 to $30 mark. And I got a few of those. And then, of course, the 1 in 50, 1 in 100. It is a ratio variant, black and white. These are in the $75 to $90 range right out the gate. So I don't know what's going on with black and white covers, but people seem to love them. We'll be putting that one up on the website. Then we have a second print of the Batman 3 Jokers Black Label comic. This is issue number 1, second print. Because of the print ratio, I didn't get the black and white on this one. It just didn't make sense for the comic shop to order in. I think it's 25. There's a 125, and he had another regular customer that wanted a black and white. So I think he ended up getting 40 copies, and I was like, just let the other guy have the 1 in 25. It's a very cool cover. It's this in black and white, but he's a collector, and I would have just put it up for sale. So I'd rather him have it. Of course, Batman Detective 1028 is out this week. I didn't grab the Matina on this one, the B cover. There's a fantastic B cover on this. Of course, I'm always a fan of the trade dress detective or DC books. And same with the Flash. I got the A cover on this one. I was actually picking these up for a friend of mine that didn't have a local comic shop, so I was for a while serving as her LCS, and they kind of dropped off the face of the earth, and I never ended my hold on this, so I'm probably going to end my hold on Flash and just pick them up as they come out if there's anything that jumps out to me. Book that I've recently jumped on, Wonder Woman, came out this week. We got the A cover and the B cover. I really like that trade dress. I think I'm going to go back and try to track down all of the trade dress for this run. My wife and a granddaughter are really big Wonder Woman fans, so it'll be nice to have those up in the Roth room. Another October release for DC, The Doomed and the Damned. This is a one-shot, October one-shot for DC. We're going to see where this one takes us. I'll give this one a read and maybe do a little review on some of these books. It's much like the Swamp Thing that came out last week, and I think they have another one coming out next week. Great cover. You've got Wonder Woman, Batman, Mad Bat. Not sure what the eyeball is up there, but it looks interesting, so we're going to give that one a run. And then, of course, the one book that I've been waiting for forever, we have Rorschach. Don't really know a lot about the book. I'm kind of confused. I've read Watchmen. I've, of course, seen the movie multiple times, and Rorschach is probably my favorite vigilante type hero. Of course, spoiler, of course, he dies at the end of Watchmen, and I thought from reading blurbs about this one that it was a story about him prior to that. But it might be intertwined with something about him and a new Rorschach character in modern times, taking place after the HBO series. So we'll see where this one takes us. I like this cover. This cover really stood out. I did a daily highlight on it for my TikTok videos, because I really like the aesthetic. It kind of throws back to that 80s horror genre kind of movie poster that we used to get in the early 80s. So Rorschach number 1, and that one's going to be a personal collection book as well. And then, of course, it was released last week. We're going back to indies. I managed to get Walking Dead Deluxe #1 Gold Edition. I was really surprised I was able to get this. My buddy Dave, who owns Dr. Volt's Comics, gave me the hookup on it. He only got one in and decided graciously to pass it on to me. This is a fantastic book. We're looking at $80 to $90 price range already. It just came out. And with the way that the Negan Returns books performed, I expect to see big things from this book as well. And then a couple other things, not new releases this week, but my buddies. I did some press work for some friends of mine over at Hive Comics. If you haven't had the opportunity, go to hivecomics.com. And look and see what they have available. They have a great Ninja Turtles that they're putting out this month. But they did recently do these Peach Momoko Spider-Man variants. They've got both the trade dress and the Virgin. And I did some work for him, so he hooked me up with some books. And I was even managed to get a couple of CGC 9.6s of the trade dress. Very cool book. So these are going to be available. I'm really excited about those. All right, so that's what I grabbed this week. Leave a comment. Let us know what you got this week, what you think about our books, and if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot them to me. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.